हरि ओम। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We shall chant these mantras which we saw yesterday. Om Bhrugurvai Varunihi Varunam Pitaramupasasara Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmeti Tasma etat provacha Annam pranam chakshushrotram manovachamiti Tagam hovacha Yato va imani bhutani jayante येन जातानि जीवन्ति यत्प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्ति तद्विजिज्ञासस्व तद्ब्रह्मेति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा। So in this third Valli, Bhrigu Valli, there is this story of Bhrigu and his father Varuna. So Bhrigu approaches Varuna, his father, and requests him to teach him this Brahma Vidya. And his father teaches him. But he gives him the Lakshana of Brahma, and Bhrigu has to then contemplate. So there is a need for this contemplation, which is also indicated in this Valli. And that contemplation is called tapas. Tapa. Tapa means ekagrata. Single pointed, concentrated contemplation is called tapas. So Bhrugurvai Varunihi Varunam Pitaram Upasasara Ki Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmeti. Please teach me this Brahma. So first the teacher told him the Upalabdhi Dwar, the gateway to recognize this Brahma, and that is through the known, through this body-mind-intellect complex itself, one can recognize that Brahma. If this world was not there, if this body-mind-intellect were not there, it would be impossible to recognize that Brahma. So from the Karya itself, the Brahma is realized. Therefore, he says that Annam Pranam Chakshus Shrotram Manovacham iti. These are the various Upalabdhi Dwar. Anna is our body, which is made up of food. Whatever good, bad food we eat, it goes to make our Anna. It's quite an amazing thing. Whether we eat a square meal or a circular meal, it makes our body. Whether we eat roti or sabji or whatever we eat, it goes to make the same body. So it's one of the great miracle. The food, the body which is made up of food, and all that we eat go to make the different ingredients of this body itself. In Chandogya Upanishad it is said that the food which we eat, the gross portion, it gets excreted from the body. The subtle portion then becomes the bone and all those important ingredients of the body, the blood, the bones, the bone marrows, all this, and also the subtlest portion of the food, it goes to make our mind. Mind is also made up of food only. So annam, prana, the prana which activates this body is also important. Then chakshushrotram, the organs of perception. Then manaha, which is antakarana, manabuddhi, chitta, ahankar, an important instrument for contemplation. Therefore, when a seeker wants to pursue this path, the inner instrument, the qualities of manabuddhi is important. Vivek, vairagya, shamdamadhi, shat sampatti, mumukshutvam, all of them are the qualities of the inner equipment only, not of the body, but of our mind and intellect. So, mana is very important. And vacham, the organs of action through which we express whatever we have understood and interact with the world. So after this Upalabdhi Dwar, the teacher gives the hint for contemplation. Ki what is that Brahma? Brahma is that from where all the beings have come. Yato va imani bhutani jayante. It is that from where all beings, including myself. So bhutani is that the jiva, the I, who is experiencing the world, and others who are experiencing the world, interacting with each other. All these beings, not only who are there on earth, but also the other beings, the Hiranyagarbha, the Devatas, all the other beings of other lokas, all of them, from where they have come, and is that Brahma. So, yato va imani bhutani jayante. And even when we survive, ena jatani jivanti, having taken birth, depending on that Brahma alone, all of us, we survive. Means there is connection with that Brahma, not only when we are born, but when we live. One is never disconnected with that Brahma. And when one goes into that Laya Avastha, all the beings also go into Laya. So yat prayanti abhisamvishanti. Even all this whole cosmos also goes into Laya Avastha. Dissolves, everything dissolves. Just like individually also, every day one goes to sleep, then all our world gets dissolved. Then again we wake up, again the world is there. Similarly, at the cosmic level, at the totalities level, the entire world goes into a Laya Avastha. In Bhagavad Gita also Bhagavan says that again and again this goes to Laya Avastha and again it is projected back. All the beings are again projected back into this world. Again get connected with their buddhi and different bodies and all. So yat prayanti avisamvishanti, when it merges back into that, that is called Brahma. That is Brahma. So yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisamvishanti. That is the indicator of that Brahma. So from the world, that Brahma is indicated. In the previous section we had seen the Brahma was indicated as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. The Lakshanas of that Brahma was indicated. But here, from the sadhana standpoint, this Lakshana was important to be given to the student. So the teacher says, this is what is Brahma is. It is that from where everything has come, all beings have come, all beings are sustained in that Brahma, and again all of them merge back into this Brahma. It is like the various pots which come from clay, remains in clay, and again merges back into clay. Or like the bubbles in water, they are born in water, they sustain in water, and again they merge back into water. In the same way, all of us, we have come from that Brahma, we are sustained in that Brahma, and merge back into Brahma. All the jivas. Who is a jiva? The one who is the karta, bhokta, jnata. In this world, the one who performs action is the jiva. One who knows, one who enjoys all the happy and unhappy result is the jiva, Mr. Jiva, as our Pujya Gurudev used to say, Mr. PFT, perceiver, feeler, thinker. So that jiva is born from Brahma, exists in Brahma, merges back into Brahma. So I want to know that Brahma. So what is the way? He says, Tat vijitnyasasva. You inquire, you contemplate, use your intellect to comprehend that Brahma. Based on this suggestions, you contemplate on that Brahma. Direct your mind and intellect toward this. This is like a puzzle. Just as a puzzle is given and we focus all our attention to solve that puzzle. Similarly, this is the puzzle which is given, so you solve it. Tad vijitnyasasva. Because just giving the answer is not, it will not help. Contemplation is required. So for contemplation, a question is very important, not an answer. Answer we find through contemplation. If we stick to a answer, then we stop thinking. Thinking is the process, vichar. Vichar is the method. But if we hold on to some answer, then we don't think. Then our thinking stops. So therefore this question is very important. So tad vijidnyasasva, you contemplate on this. Tad brahmeti, that is Brahma. You have asked for Brahma, that is Brahma. So you contemplate. Go. So what did Bhrigu do? He says, tapotapyata. He did tapas. Now the question is that the teacher did not tell him about tapas. How did he know that one has to do tapas? Shankaracharya ji says that that is the best sadhan And he knew about it. Bhrigu knew about this sadhan, so he knew that Father has not indicated, given the knowledge of that Brahma completely. He has left something for me. And to achieve that goal of recognizing that Brahma, I have to do something. So what should I do? The best sadhan which he knew was tapas. And later on, his father also, he acknowledges that. So tapas is concentrated, focused contemplation, wherein we have the data is there, and when we contemplate, we arrive at that solution. So this is the process which we use in the world also. Some information is given to us, we think on those terms, and we arrive at that understanding. For example, in mathematics, some puzzle is given to us, some what you call that equation is given, we contemplate, and we arrive at that answer. Similarly, here also the equation is given, so one has to contemplate. And the dwar was also mentioned. So, satapo tapyata. So, that student, here the time and all duration is not mentioned, but he must have gone to a secluded place and sat there and contemplated, away from the maddening crowd, for a long, long duration. About Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi also it is said, he just came up with this one question, who am I? And he contemplated on it. And by thorough contemplation, he reached that state of enlightenment. And he gave this path to everyone who is sincere and dedicated, and who can hold on to this question with jidnyasa. For them, this is the path. So, sa tapo tapyata, so he contemplated for a long duration, and after contemplation, sa tapas taptva, after contemplating, he arrived at a particular understanding. And when he arrived at that understanding, he approached his teacher again to confirm. Because though he arrived at that understanding, he was not very sure whether that is the ultimate. So he again approached his teacher. So what did he contemplate and understand? That is said now in the next section. Annam brahmeti vyajanat अन्नाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते अन्नेन जातानि जीवन्ति अन्नं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपो तप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा. Once more. It's good to learn to chant. Annam brahmeti vyajanat अन्नाद्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते अन्नेन जातानि जीवन्ति अन्नं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा. All these Vedic mantras are chanted in a particular tune with swaras, udatta, anudatta, pluta, and these swaras are fixed from the beginningless time when the Vedas are chanted, and all those who chant, even in our country or wherever in the world, it is chanted in the same way. And the swaras are fixed. This is one of the reasons why we call it apaurusheya. If a human being had made the swaras, we would have changed the tune by now. But this tune is fixed, and wherever they are chanted in the same way. Those who learn it traditionally, they learn it in this way. So after contemplating, Bhrigu arrived at this understanding कि अन्नम ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात्. He understood Anna as Brahma, food. Anna, sharir, which is made up of food, he understood that as Brahma. Because all the lakshanas which are said about Brahma, yato va imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayantyabhisham vishanti, all these lakshanas, they are applicable to this body itself. All of us, all beings are born from food only. The body is born from food. All these bodies are born from food. Whatever the parents eat, the essence of that only becomes the body of this jiva. So, and it survives on the body, eating food, and ultimately merge back into food. See, even there is a beautiful story in Chandogya Upanishad about Indra and Varuna. No, not Indra and Virochan. Both of them, they approach Brahmaji for learning this Brahma Vidya. So they said, please teach us, they went separately, teach me Brahma Vidya. So Brahmaji said, you look into the water. They saw their own reflection. He said, that is Brahma. So both of them looked. They saw their own face, and then they understood that what he meant was this body. So that Virochan, who was the leader of all the asuras, he was convinced that this body is Brahma, and he did not contemplate much. He said, yes, it's very clear. Such a wonderful Brahma I am. So he went back and he told his asura others also, that I have gained this knowledge from Brahmaji directly. That body is Brahma. You worship this body. You feed the body. You take care of the body. You do everything for the body. All the anand, everything you will get from the body itself. That there is no need for anything else. There are no other devatas and no other thing to be worshipped. Body alone is everything. Even now, some people who follow that philosophy are still there. But Indra, when he heard this, he went and contemplated. And after contemplation, he felt that this body, how can it be Brahma? It is born, it dies, it changes. And it is said Brahma is imperishable. Brahma is the supreme. This body doesn't seem to be supreme. So he again approaches Brahmaji. Virochan had already left. He told at home that मेरा education complete हो गया. But Indra, he did not leave. So after contemplation, he approached the teacher again. And he said, I have this doubt that I am not very clear. How can this body be Brahma? So please explain further. Then the teacher explains him further. And again he contemplates, again he comes, again he goes, again he comes. And finally he comes to recognize that Brahma. That is the method of learning. So here Bhrigu also, after contemplation, he came to know that is Anna is Brahma. Annam Brahmeti Vajanat. Why Anna is Brahma? Because Annad eva khalu imani bhutani jayante. All these beings, not only I, but all beings are born from food only. See, all the variety of beings who are there in this world, our Prithvi, all of them are food to somebody or other. We might not eat them, but every creature is food for other creature. Therefore, it is said, Jivo Jivasya Bhojanam. One creature eats other creatures. We cannot survive without eating another being. So there is no such thing called vegetarian and non-vegetarian and all. What is there in our scriptures? Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Because this vegetarian, non-vegetarian is unscientific. Everyone is Jiva only. So this, he came to know that all the beings who are there, they are born from food. Annadheva kalvimani bhutani jayante. Annena jatani jivanti. And having taken birth in Anna, we keep on eating food and we survive. And Annam prayanti, Abhisham vishanti. And moving towards that Anna only, we again merge into that Anna. This Prithvi, the whole body disintegrates and again goes back into earth. Or some other being eats it. If we bury also, it is eaten by all. Or even if it is burnt, again it becomes what you call fertilizer for the other plants and all to grow, or some insects to eat it. So in this way, the body is consumed by other beings. It goes back into food only. So he came to know that Annam Brahmeti Vajanat. But he had this doubt because he again approached his father. Now the question is, what doubt he must have got? Why he again went to his father? He should have been convinced that Anna is Brahma. Shankaracharya ji says that this Anna he contemplated and came to the understanding that this Anna is also Karya. It is also an effect. There is something which controls this Anna also. It is also it cannot be the ultimate, because one finds that this Anna also is controlled by something. So it cannot be the that Brahma, because Brahma is indicated as the ultimate cause of everything. See, there is something called this ultimate cause, and there is something called penultimate cause. Ultimate cause is that in which there is not a trace of effect. Penultimate cause is that in which some traces of effect is also there. For example, suppose anything of this world, if we take, again we take the pot only. Pots are safer. So if you take that pot, we say that it is made from clay, earth. So the cause of that pot is earth. But earth itself is not the ultimate cause. Earth also is an effect only. From our study we come to know that matter has come from water. So for the earth also water is the cause. For water also fire is the cause. For fire also Vayu is the cause. So that cannot be the ultimate. Therefore in science also they try to find a cause, but they reach the penultimate cause only. They don't talk about the ultimate cause. And the latest thing is about this Big Bang. According to the latest scientific theory, the whole world has come, means at one point, it's very difficult to comprehend also what the science is saying, that all this entire cosmos which we see, it is expanding now. So once upon a time, all these stars and galaxies, everything was close to each other. And in the beginning, the entire cosmos was concentrated on one point. That point was of infinite energy and infinite mass. They call it singularity. That is the theory. But that is the accepted latest theory. But that singularity or mass and all also is, they talk in that also is karya only. Because from where it has come and how it triggered this, what triggered the Big Bang, all these questions are there which they don't have the answer yet. So he contemplated and came to know this Anna cannot be Brahma, because the Anna itself is not the ultimate, it is also an effect. Therefore, to get confirmation and get some guidance, he approached his teacher again. Ki tad vidnyaya punareva varunam pitaram upasasara. Again he came back to his father. So one should have a dialogue with the teacher to gain this knowledge, one to one. See, nowadays we give pravachan and all, but pravachan is not a dialogue. Like Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue, all our Upanishads are a dialogue. Even in Bhagavad there is a dialogue, the Parikshit and Shukdev ji sits and there is a dialogue. So through dialogue we have to come to understand this. So again he approached his father, tad vidnyaya punareva, punaha eva varunam pitaram upasasara. He approached his father. And he must have expressed what he had understood to his father. But he knew that it is not the ultimate. So again he requested his father, ki adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. Oh my dear father, Bhagwan, please teach me this Brahma. So father, this time he said, Tagam hovacha, father said, कि तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व. He had already said, yato va imani bhutani jayante. See this in our Upanishads and all, how these great masters are there. They will not unnecessarily repeat them. When our Pujya Gurudev approached Swami Taponji Maharaj told him that I will teach you once, then you have to contemplate and comprehend. If you have any doubt or question, you can approach me. But if you forget what I teach, then you should forget about all this. You can go home or wherever you want to go. So this student approached and he said, Adhihi bhagavo brahmeti, please teach me Brahma. So tam hovacha tapasa brahma vijidnyasasva. Here also he then gives the means, tapas, though Bhrigu had already done tapas. But here he says, tapasa brahma vijidnyasasva. You come to know this Brahma through tapas, focus, concentrated contemplation. See, our mind, our intellect is so very fantastic that it has got power to comprehend. So Brahma can, though it is beyond the comprehension of the intellect, but when we strive towards it in a different way, we can gain the knowledge of that Brahma. It is like the space. Space is beyond comprehension. We cannot see space. But if we have a clean mirror, you can get a reflection of the face. It is considered as the reflection of the space. If the mirror is clean, then what you see in that mirror is the reflection of space. So contemplation is required, and after that only then the nididhyasana will happen. So he said, कि tapasa brahma vijidnyasasva, through tapas you know this Brahma. Contemplate, think again, find out. So tapo brahmeti satapo tapyata, satapas taptva. So again he went and did tapas. He contemplated. And now, after contemplating deeply, he came to understand this Brahma at a subtler level. He had understood till Anna, now he understood at a subtler level. What did he understand? Further. Prano brahmeti vyajanat प्राणाद्धेव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते प्राणेन जातानि जीवन्ति प्राणं प्रयन्त्यभिसंविशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति सतपो तप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा. We had seen in the previous section or previous Valli, Brahmananda Valli, the 5 layers, the 5 koshas were mentioned there. The Annamay, Pranamay, Manomay, Vijnanamay and Anandamay. And all of them were indicated as Atma, Annamaya Atma, Pranamaya Atma. One comes to understand first the Annamaya Atma, but if we dive deeper through contemplation, one comes to recognize the Pranamaya Atma. And still deeper we go, we come to know the Manomaya Atma, then the Vijnanamaya Atma, and finally the Anandamaya Atma, which is the ultimate. So it was indicated there, the Annamaya, which not only was our body, the Shira, the Dakshina Pakshaha, the Uttara Pakshaha, and Prithvi Puchham Pratishtha, the whole Prithvi was indicated as the very substratum of this Annamaya. So it is not only my body which I should understand, but I should know that all the bodies of all the beings are Annamaya only. It's all one, all Annamaya. But when we look at this, my Sharir, it is not the ultimate, because that Annamaya Sharir is controlled by my pranas. The pranas control this body. Life which is there within this body controls this body. It is the master of this body. The Anna itself is not the master. That which is within is the master. So this prana makes the body active. If the pranas are there, the body functions. If the pranas leave the body gets disintegrated. Okay? So the life, that prana, seems to be the cause of this body also. The master of this body, the one which controls this body, one which is inner to this body. Even if you see a fine, what you call jivas, the insects and bacteria and all, though it is made up of matter, but there's something other than matter which makes them active, because of which there is reproduction. All the things we see in them. So though physically it appears to be, that appears to be the jiva, but it is something, really something subtler than that. So this prana, he came to understand the prana. And when contemplation means getting total understanding of this prana. It is, see, the laboratory, just as in our physical laboratory we do research. Forget about research, all of us, when we go to the doctors also, doctors or doctor for anything, they tell you to go do some test. Blood test karo, ye test karo. Blood they take, then they do the elaborate test. उसमें सब आपका पता चल जाता है, हेमोग्लोबिन और ये वो प्लेटलेट्स and so many things. नहीं? How do they know? They go into that fine test and count and do all sorts of things. I don't know what. Then they come to know. So we have the equipment to test the physical thing of this world. Similarly, to test and to do the Vishleshan of the inner, we have our own buddhi. So with the buddhi, when we enter and contemplate, we will be able to know this prana also. What are the various angas of this prana? Also with the help of the scriptures and the guidance of the scriptures. So, Bhrigu, when he contemplated, he understood this prana as Brahma. Prano Brahmeti Vejanat. How prana is Brahma? Because all the lakshanas of Brahma is there in prana also. Ki pranat eva khal vimani bhutani jayante. That all beings are born from life. You cannot have born from inert thing. Inert object itself is not the source of beings. Life itself gives birth to life. See, even scientifically, when they analyze, they try to find out the origin of life. It's a very interesting analysis. Science also tries to find out what is the origin of life. Theoretically, what can be the possible origin? Because life, they try to find out what is the minimum, the least thing required for life. Matter is required. That RNA, DNA and all those things. But that matter is not just matter, but that intelligent matter. That matter produces protein and does all sorts of things. So that intelligence is required. And they don't know from where this intelligence has come. So, however much they can think of, they cannot figure out from where this intelligence. For example, if we get a CD, let us say. Now you know that there is some information there. But that from that material itself, the information has not come. Something else is required to put that information in it. So similarly, that material is there from where this intelligence, information and all has come, by which it can reproduce and function and all. So that even science is not understanding how it can be. Therefore, they say that they just put that thing somewhere else. They say life has come from elsewhere. There is a theory called panspermia, that life is everywhere and from there it must have come on earth also. So, when we understand this, we come to know that life is required for life to grow, life to sustain, and life goes back into life. Life doesn't die. Body dies. The life which was there on earth is still there. It has taken multiple forms and multiple shapes, but life is still there. So after contemplating deeply, Bhrigu came to know that that life which is there within, which is making this body function, because of which I can breathe, because of which I can eat, because of which all this circulation, digestion happens. This life, prana, is Brahma. So, pranena jatani jivanti and pranam prayante visham vishanti. Everything is born in prana. They are sustained by prana and again merges back into prana. So, prana is Brahma. That much he comprehended. But he found that that is also not really, might not be true, because he felt that this prana is also an effect. There is something which controls this prana. Therefore we have called pranayam also. Pranayam means controlling the pranas only. So there is something which controls the prana. The pranas cannot be the ultimate cause of all the beings. So, though he understood prana till then, but he was not convinced. So again he approached his father. So tad vidnyaya punareva varunam pitaram upasasara. To understand it further, he again approached his father. And he must have reported what he has understood. We have similar thing in Kenopanishad also. The teacher gives some hint, the student contemplates, and again comes and reports to his teacher. And the teacher sends him back. He says, you think more. You only have understood little. Nunam tvam vetta brahmano rupam. Little only you have understood. Thoda sa socho aur. Chintan karo. So he goes and then he understands. Ki naham manne suvedeti no na vedeti vedecha. Yonas tadveda tadveda no na vedeti vedecha. So similarly here also he approaches his father. Ki tad vidnyaya punareva varunam pitaram upasasara. He approached his father and he requested ki adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. Oh Bhagwan, please teach me Brahma. See, this process might have taken many days, weeks or months. It is this contemplation, it requires full concentrated contemplation. See, even ordinarily if you have to think, we need some time and some space and some leisure to think. Otherwise thinking is not, it requires total condition to think. So many people, they go on with their life without thinking. But to think, it requires. Therefore in English also we have saying that let us sit and think. To sit and think what? We don't say we will sit for election, we stand for election, because no thinking is required. But for thinking, sitting is required. Let us sit and think. I don't say let us stand and think. इलेक्शन में खड़ा है क्या? बैठ के शांति से चिंतन करो. So adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. Oh Bhagwan, please teach me Brahma. So Tagam hovacha, to him the father said कि तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व. तपस्या ब्रह्म को जान लो. See, the sadhana has not changed. Sadhana is tapas only. Tapas doesn't mean that standing on one leg or sleeping on the ground or going on fasting or this and that. People have this various ideas of tapas. These are physical tapas. Here what is meant by tapas is deep focused contemplation with proper what you call guidance from the scriptures. Not just worrying or thinking, just haphazardly thinking is no. Focused thinking. See, so many of our scientific discoveries and breakthroughs happened through this tapas. All these great Einstein and what you call Newton and all those great scientists, through that tapas only they could comprehend. Because otherwise this universe is so vast and we are so little physically to comprehend. But science, through their thinking, through their experimentation, have understood great deal about this cosmos. That is through concentrated tapas, thinking. So he says, कि tapasa brahma vijidnyasasva. You know that Brahma through tapas. Tapo brahmeti. Tapas itself is Brahma. Sa tapo tapyata. Sa tapas taptva. Then again he went and did some tapas. And after thinking deeply, came to know that this prana is also karya. Prana is also controlled by something else. Prana also arises from something else. Prana is also not the ultimate, but prana happens through something else. So what is that he understood? Further, he says, मनो ब्रह्मेति व्यजानात् मनसो ह्येव खल्विमानि भूतानि जायन्ते मनसा जातानि जीवन्ति मनः प्रयन्त्यभिशं विशन्तीति तद्विज्ञाय पुनरेव वरुणं पितरमुपससार अधीहि भगवो ब्रह्मेति तगं होवाच तपसा ब्रह्म विजिज्ञासस्व तपो ब्रह्मेति स तपोतप्यत स तपस्तप्त्वा. So the Pranamaya Kosh was indicated in the previous section, comprising of Prana, Apana, Vyan, Udan, Saman, in which also the connection with the cosmic Prana was indicated. So the life in me is connected to the cosmic life, to the life in all. It is not isolated. Just as my body is connected to everybody, it is made up of the same material. Only one particular personality is expressing through this particular body, but all bodies are made up of the same thing. Similarly, the prana in me is connected to the prana elsewhere. So he came to know about this prana, but then when we look at this prana within, we come to know that that prana is also controlled and affected by our thinking. It is affected by the mind. The mind with all the samskars, the vasanas, the desires, affect the prana. In fact, to fulfill the desires of the mind only, the pranas, they do their work. And in order to fulfill those desires of the mind, a particular one enters a particular body and lives in that body. And when the desires of the mind or that prarabdha is completed, then the pranas, they leave that body also. They leave that body and go away, along with the mind and all. So if we just look at these pranas, we find that the mind is controlling these pranas. Our thoughts, our emotions control the prana. We will find that our breathing also get affected depending on the mood of the mind. In anger, the breathing is different. पूरा एकदम गर्म हवा निकलती है. If somebody is angry, just check the हवा. I mean, keep safe distance, but you can do some experiment, because that is the opportunity to do experiment. At home and all, if anybody is angry, so check. When we are sad and all, ठंडी हवा निकलती है. But when we are angry, garam ekdam. So, and also when we are agitated, when we are, depending on the type of thoughts which we have, the flow of that prana also gets what you call, it changes. So from the breathing, Also, they have found out breathing from the left nostril, right nostril, depending on our thoughts and our emotions. Sometimes we breathe through the left nostril, sometimes through the right, sometimes both of them are active. So all this great connection between the mind and the pranas. The emotions, they control this prana. In fact, when we deep desire also, some people are almost on the deathbed. If they desire also to die and all comes, the prana also start withdrawing. But when that desire to live or whatever the mind changes, the prana also become little active. I remember my mother telling a story of one of our relatives, and she was almost on her deathbed, dying, anytime gone. But she was waiting for her son to come. She said, before I die, I want to see my son. He was somewhere else. I want to see. She had great affection, attachment to her son. Then he came. And she saw him, son has come. And she looked at him, Arey, you must be hungry. You must have come from this long, and you must be tired. So she just did her whole body became little active. She got up. She said, I will cook food for you. You must be very tired and all, hungry and all. And she started cooking. She fed him. And she became all right. No, it's very, very connected. See, those people who go into depression and all the time, let me die. Oh, Bhagwan, mujhe uthate kyun nahi? And all. But if something nice happens, then again they are quite. People, when they are dying, they want to go to Varanasi and all. Because वहाँ पर हमने सुना है कि शिव भगवान कान में महामंत्र बताते हैं. राम नाम. He comes to the dying person's side and he tells them this Rama mantra in their right ear. So people go there to die. But going there, fresh air, taking bath in Ganga Ji, going to Kashi Vishwanath temple, doing satsang, running around here and there, suddenly they feel quite healthy and nice. जैसे अरे ये तो काफ़ी अच्छा है. डॉक्टर ने कहा तो मैं मर जाऊंगा और आई एम फीलिंग क्वाइट फाइन नाउ. सो दे आफ्टर स्टेइंग देयर फॉर अ मंथ और सो दे स्टार्ट रिमेंबरिंग कि बबलू कैसा होगा. एंड दे कम बैक टू दिल्ली और यहाँ का पोल्यूशन, एनवायरनमेंट, दिस दैट एंड ऑल, एंड ट्रैफिक जैम एंड ऑल. इसी में आई डोंट वांट टू टेल द सैड एंड, but sometimes sad end happens. So our mind and our pranas are very much connected. Even our health, actually pranas, they control our health also. Because prana is directly connected to our annamaya kosh. If pranayam and all is very helpful to keep the body healthy. Because the whole body is structured on the pranamaya kosh only. Pranamaya kosh is like in a building also, all these columns and this and that concrete structure is there, and then you just have this eat ka bante. Similarly, the whole structure of a body is prana, on which the physical thing is attached. So if prana is healthy and kept proper, the body can remain healthy. But prana is controlled by our thoughts and emotions and ideas and desires and passions and memories and experiences and all those things. And if they are not proper, the prana also, it becomes totally disturbed. So mind, again in the previous section it was indicated the mind is made up of all these Vedas, Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Sama Ved, Atharva Ved. Because the Vedas, those sections, they talk about desires and fulfilling those desires also. That you do this, you follow this path of dharma, you can go to Swarga, you can fulfill these desires. So, all this mind which is made up of so many desires, ambitions and all, is that controls our prana. So everything, all these pranas have come from mind, it is sustained in the mind and again merges back into the mind. So all the pranis, all the beings, they are born in mind, they sustain, they live in the mind, and they die also, go back into the mind. So after this deep contemplation, he came to know that mind is Brahma. Mano Brahmeti Vyajana. That mind is Brahma. Because all the lakshanas of Brahma is applicable to the mind. So Manaso Heva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante. All these beings are born from mind. Manasa Jatani Jivanti. Having taken birth from the mind, they live on the mind itself. They live with their thoughts and emotions, desires and all. Desires make them live. When the desires are no more there, the person dies. What we call death is that in this body, the uska fulfillment of desire is no longer possible. So then the pranas, they leave, give up this body and go away. Take up another body. So mana prayanti abhisamvishanti. So approaching the mind, ultimately they merge into this mind. Therefore, he understood mind as the ultimate cause, as Brahma. But after contemplating, thinking, he felt that mind also cannot be the ultimate. Mind also seems like a karya only, an effect. So to confirm it, he approached his teacher again. Ki tad vidnyaya punareva varunam pitaram upasasara. Again he came back to his teacher and he said, Adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. Please teach me Brahma. See this, when we chant and you should listen. We have cassettes also, I think. All this chanting of this Taittiriya Upanishad and all. It is very beautiful to listen. So Adhihi bhagavo brahmeti. Tagam hovacha. To him he said, Ki tapasa brahma vijitnyasasva. See this repetition, again I am saying, to give the stress, the importance. Otherwise scriptures don't repeat. Repetition is considered as not a very good thing. But if something is very important, they repeat it. Ki tapasa brahma vijitnyasasva. Ki tapas. Contemplate. People are very much attracted towards meditation. Meditation, they feel कि चुपचाप आंख बंद करके बैठ जाओ शांति से, उससे नींद आ जाती है. हाँ, meditation, just quietening the mind, quietening the thoughts itself will not lead us to knowledge. Knowledge happens through vichar. In Vivek Chodamani also it is said, what is said? Let me remember. चित्तस्य शुद्धये कर्म न तो वस्तुपलब्धये. वस्तुपलब्धि विचारेण न किंचित कर्म कोटिभिः. कि चित्त शुद्धि happens through karma, action. Wherever there is action, if it is done properly, it helps in chitta shuddhi. So physical action or with some attitude of pranayam, this, that, all these are action which helps in chitta shuddhi. But if we want to gain knowledge, we have to do vichar. vicharena na kinchit karma kotibhi, and not by just doing some karma. So this vichar, chintan, contemplation is very important. So he says, tapasa brahma vijidnyasasva. Through tapas you know Brahma. Tapo brahmeti. Tapas itself is Brahma, because this tapas itself will take you to Brahma. Then again he went, sat somewhere and did tapas. Sa tapo tapyata. And sa tapas taptva, and having contemplated, he came to know even that which is subtler than mind, which controls the mind, which is the boss of the mind also, from where even the mind has come. So that he came to know. We'll find out what is that. उसको देखो क्या हो रहा है, हाँ बाद में देख लेना, शॉर्ट सर्किट वगैरह कुछ. सो स तपो तप्यत, स तपस तप्त्वा. Then he contemplated and came to know what is within that mind. We'll chant this. Vijnanam brahmeti vyajanat, vijnanaddheva khal vimani bhutani jayante, vijnanena jatani jivanti, vijnanam prayantyabhisham vishantiti, tad vijnaya punareva varunam pitaram upasasara, adhihi bhagavo brahmeti tagam hovacha tapasa brahma vijitnyasasva tapo brahmeti satapo tapyata satapas taptva. So he contemplated what is this, all these thoughts and emotions, and what is deeper than that, what is that which controls our emotions also. And he came to know that that is the vijnanam, the knowledge, the intelligence or knowledge controls the mind also. So in the previous section, we had seen that mind is made up of the Vedas, it was said, Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Sam Ved, Atharva Ved. And the intellect, Vijnana, was indicated as Tasya Shraddhaiva Shiraha Ratam Dakshina Pakshaha Satyam Uttara Pakshaha Yoga Atma Mahapracham Pat Pratishtha. So Shraddha was indicated as the head, Ritam as the right side, Satyam as the left side, Yoga, that is concentration, focus, is the Atma, means the main portion, and Maha is that Samashti Buddhi as the Pratishtha, as the support of this Vijnana. Vijnana is the Nishchay, the knowledge, the Vedas, what we have understood, what we understand from what the scriptures are saying, that confirmed knowledge is called Vijnana, right knowledge. And the ultimate knowledge about our own self and world is given in the Vedas. So the right understanding of that is the Vijnana. But even wrong understanding is also Vijnana, which controls our mind. Our emotions, our thoughts, our desires are controlled by our understanding or misunderstanding. What we consider as our, that becomes our philosophy of life, our understanding about ourselves, our understanding about the world, our understanding about God, about life, about death, about right, about wrong. Everyone, they have their own philosophy, whether we study the scriptures or not, but all of us, we have our own philosophy. Who am I? In that philosophy, you have the understanding or misunderstanding, generally misunderstanding about who am I, what is this world, who is God, if you believe or don't believe in God, what is life, what is death, what is good, what is bad. All this makes our Vijnana. But since it is not in tune with the Vedas, in the previous section it was not, our foolishness was not called Vijnana, but the right appreciation of knowledge, the authentic knowledge is called Vijnana. This authentic knowledge comes from the Vedas, so Vedas were indicated as the mind. So Vijnana is a very subtle level of our own being, and that needs deep, thorough contemplation. So after contemplating in this way, the Bhrigu, the student, came to know this layer of Vijnana, the deep understanding which controls, which is the Atma of the mind also. So this portion is subtle, and then the final step is the Ananda. So tomorrow we will look into this Vijnana and that Anandamaya, the final step. So you also contemplate and be ready. So we'll conclude with a prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.